Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about linear inequalities by using word problems. It's a simple yet confusing enough for many students because they are word problems and you don't want to read them. So since we are dealing with inequalities, we are going to use the terms that are like greater than, less than, at least, and so we are going to use those sort of terms, and the sign that we deal with is not going to be equal. The sign that we deal with is going to be either this one, that one, okay, and the variables and numbers. So let's get to this one here. Anywhere Airlines aims to collect at least $9,300 in baggage fees. So what does that mean? If they're going to collect at least that much money. Now you need to come up with examples and or statements that'll make sense to you. Can they collect 10,000? Can they collect 8,000? Based on that statement, your yes and no answers are going to tell you what kind of sign you'll need. Otherwise, what it says in here will usually be misleading. Okay? So at least 9,300. What does that mean? Could it be more than that? If you say no right away, it's because you don't think about what I'm saying. If they can collect at least 9,300, that means that they could collect more than that. At least 9,300. It could be 9,400 because it says at least that much. It could be 9,500, 10,000, or anything that is greater than that number. Now you see what happened? The word at least kind of turned into greater than. It may not look like it makes sense, but it is what it is. So you need to think about what you read and then kind of ask yourselves questions and answer them. Yes or no questions. Ask yourselves yes or no questions. Could it be this much? Could it be that much? Could it be less than that? What does that statement mean? So once you figure that out, you're going to eliminate two of your answers right away. At least that much means it can be that exact same number or more. Okay, so our sign is going to look like this. Whatever you have on the left side of this inequality can be equal to this or greater than that. But we didn't have any of those words over here. You need to make sense of what you read by asking such questions. So that's not going to be my answer because the sign tells me whatever I have on the left side is less than or equal to that number. It doesn't say more than or equal. Less than or equal to 9,300. It's either one of these two. Now, the differences between them, 24 plus x plus 40 plus y. I haven't read the question, but I think this is going to be the answer, but let's read the question. Because this usually don't make sense. That looks interesting. If it says something costs $24 and other thing is X dollars, the last one would be our answer, but I don't think that's very likely. So let's read. In baggage fees from passengers every day, passengers are charged $24 for each regular suitcase. And look at this right here. $24 for each regular suitcase. Do we know how many suitcases they have? Regular suitcases? We don't know that. So they gave us this. For the number that we don't know, use the X for regular suitcases. And each one of them is $24. $24 for each regular suitcase. If there's only one suitcase, it would be 24 times 1. If there are two regular suitcases, it would be 24 times 2. If there are 5 suitcases, regular suitcases, it would be 24 times 5. But do we know what it is? Do we know how many of them we have? We do not. That's why instead of all these numbers that we can make up, we want to use a variable That could be any number. That's why it's supposed to be 24 times x. If you don't know what that number is, use a variable. That's for the suitcases. Now I know that my answer is going to be this right here, but let's read the rest. Plus, let's see what else they are spending on. And $40 for each overweight suitcases. $40 for each overweight suitcases. Does it tell us whether they have like 10 of those, 5 of those, 7 of those? The only thing that we know is that the number of overweight suitcases is equal to y. So I don't know how many. I don't know if this is 5. I don't know if that is 2. All I know is that is y. So that would be my answer for this question right here. Moving on to the next one. For tax purposes, a large corporation wants to spend more than $18 million. So this is kind of obvious because it tells us it is more than 18 million. So if it is going to be more than 18 million, okay, let me do something wrong first. This means it is not less than 18 million. What I put means it is not less than 18 million. Because if it is not less than that, it could be equal to it. It could be more than that. So what it says in here, they want to spend more than 18 million. They don't want to spend exactly 18 million. They don't want to spend less than 18 million. They just want to spend more than 18 million. So if they don't want to spend exactly 18 million, I don't need that equal sign. If they don't want to spend less, that means they want to spend more, which is just the greater than sign, without the equal underneath. The company is told that it can build a hospital for $2,300,000 and a school for $13,000. So one hospital is that much, one school is that much. Look at that difference. Schools are cheap, huh? Okay. So do I know how many hospitals they're going to build? The number of hospitals is this. The number of hospitals is that letter. It goes for this. Okay? 2,300,000 times x plus, and the school for 13,000. Are they just doing one school, or is it like 5 schools? The number of schools built is y. So 13,000 for one school, but we do not know how many schools they have, so it is times y. So if it is one school, we plug in 1 for y. If it is 3 schools, we plug in 3 for y. So that would be the answer to this question. So the first level was where you pick the answers out of the options, multiple choices. The second level is where you create your own equations using your numbers and variables. Okay? It is important to realize that you are constructing your equation or inequality in here. These are not equations. They don't have equal signs. So let's skip one more level over. Let's get back to 2 down to the original sort of questions. I want to do one more of those where I pick out of the multiple choices. Okay. The drama department has set a fundraising goal of $2,100. Their goal is this much. I don't think they want anything less than that. I would say they would be okay with this amount and anything more than that. So that's why these two don't make sense to me, because they say these two inequalities tell me that whatever they're collecting, which is the left side, is going to be less than the amount that they want to collect. Let's see if that's the case. If that's the case, I'm going to remove these red lines. But I don't think they're going to be okay with anything less than 2,100. It's kind of against the nature of life. Let's read the rest of the question. Which students will try to meet or exceed? You see that? They want to meet this goal or exceed this goal. They're not okay with anything less than that. So this means it is less than or equal to 2100. It's the same thing for these two. They're telling that it is okay for them to collect 2100, which I understand, but they also say that it could be less than that. I don't think anyone would be okay with that kind of a goal if they're doing a fundraising. Okay, by selling two kinds of popcorn, let's see what kind of popcorns they have. I think those are these two. There are profits of $3 for each container and $2 for each container of, okay. So $3 for the first kind, $3, okay, it's like 3x, okay? And then $2 for each container, $2 for this one, that one here is $2. So this is what I'm looking for. 3x plus 2y is greater than or equal to 2100. Right here. I hope it makes sense. I'll do one more question where we need to construct our equation rather than choosing the options. Okay, the tennis coach at Millersburg High School is purchasing equipment for the team. He has a budget of no more than $810. Okay, if the budget is no more than $810, it doesn't mean that it is going to be less. It means it is going to be less than or equal to. So, no more than 810. Now, make up numbers. Is this okay? Looking at that statement, it says no more than. Is this no more than 810? Yes, it is no more than. It's not more than that. So, this is okay. Is it, can it be this? Is this more than that? No, it's not more than that, so I am okay with this much too. What about this? Am I okay with this? It says the budget is no more than $810. That cannot be their budget because it is more than 810. So, looking at the numbers that we put check mark, we are looking for numbers that is less than or equal to 810. If you cannot figure it out right away, do it this way. Come up with numbers, ask yourself this question. Could it be this? Looking at that statement, could it be that? And then combine those numbers together and see if you're looking for smaller numbers or bigger numbers. But you need to focus on what you read and comprehend what you read for this. If you just see the word no more than and then start doing like greater than or equal sign, it's not going to work like that. We have 4 signs. Your chances are 25%. Don't just guess it. Understand it. Try to understand it. Okay, so my sign then is going to be, if it's not more than, it could be equal. No more than means it could be equal and less. Okay, that's what it means. So it is going to be either equal or less than $810. What is it? A large case of tennis balls costs $23. Look for the keywords in here. Tennis balls is X and they cost $23. So I have 23X, right? And then racket costs $59. So this one here, for each one of them, we want to spend $59. So 59Y plus 23X cannot be more than $810. It could be less or equal to. Oops, that's not Y. Oh, that's not X. It should be Y. Right here, 59. Okay, that was it. Thank you guys, and I will see you in another video.